Borderlands was one of the many gigantic floppy donkey dicks of the 2024 box office. Even a star-studded cast and semi-popular video game franchise couldn't pull this one out of the bog of eternal stench. By all accounts, Borderlands did everything 1000% cattywampus and has been mercilessly mocked, which makes it a prime candidate for a so bad it's good watch with your degenerate friends. Cinematic defense attorney Monroe Beeler will argue that Borderlands is chock full of unbelievably hilarious moments that will leave your jaw on the floor. The honorary Judge Mental is on hand to lay down the verdict on whether the accused film is so bad it's good or just plain bad. This is the court that puts bad movies on trial. This is Objectionable Cinema. Mr. Beeler, I'm just going to warn you that if I find you're wasting my time on this one, there's going to be some serious disciplinary consequences. Understood, Your Honor. Borderlands? Really? A rollicking prancercise through bad movie nirvana. Now, before you make your case for why anybody would want to watch this for the lulz, let's read some movie reviews, shall we? An insult to carbon-based life forms. Technically, a movie. A boring slog. Feels like watching Cardboard the Movie. Balls in your court, Mr. Beeler. Thank you, Your Honor. Firstly, those serious movie reviewers aren't normally the kind of people that appreciate movies that are so bad that they're good, so of course they're going to say things like that. Now, if I may, Your Honor, you yourself have said that one of the aspects that you love about movies that are so bad they're good is when they make absolutely no sense. Geriatric pencil storage. Exactly. Now, even if you were a fan of the Borderlands video game, the plot in this film will have you lost in a wasteland of skag dung. What now? Now, you've probably heard by now that most of the actors in this film are like 40 years older than the characters that they're portraying from the video game, which I personally find hilarious. And then usually when a comedian chooses to do a more serious role, they are trying to win like an Oscar or something, but Kevin Hart chose this.
Well, destiny awaits.
And then there's just absurd stuff like this where the heroes are trying to blend into a crowd by wearing these brightly lit up absurd virtual masks. Now I submit to you that all of this is nothing but stupid fun, Your Honor. You've made your point. What else you got? Only the coup de grace, Your Eminence. You yourself are quoted as saying that you are a huge fan of vanity projects made by delusional lunatics like Tommy Wiseau or Neil Breen. I'm not on trial here. Now allow me to introduce you to the CEO of Gearbox Borderlands, Randy Pitchford, who many consider to be the least liked person in the entire video game industry. I'll be the judge of that. Let's see here. Alleged plagiarism, tweeting out kittens being tortured. They allegedly found what on his USB drive that he left at medieval times? And he owns several magic-based businesses. You mean like Magic the Gathering? Nah, more like pull a rabbit out of a hat magic. So anyways, all of this was Randy Pitchford's idea of tapping into this audience to create a grand Borderlands cinematic universe, even though that audience was mostly made up of people who had bought the game in cheap packages released years after the game actually came out. Okay, Mr. Beeler, I've heard enough. I'm going to retire to my chambers, watch Borderlands, and then return with my verdict. While Judge Mental makes his final decision, we'd like to remind you to like and subscribe and let us know what movies you'd like to see put before the judge. And now, Judge Mental's verdict. Okay, I have finished watching the movie Borderlands. Firstly, I'd like to address some of your assertions about my personal tastes. I do enjoy a good nonsensical plot. At no time did I understand what anybody was doing in Borderlands or where they were going. But there wasn't much more to understand beyond good guys need to win, and it just sucked all the joy out of the film, much like your grandmother at a frat house. I'm sorry? Secondly, while this is a vanity piece of sorts, I pose this to you. How much more hilarious would this movie have been if CEO Randy Pitchford would have directed and starred in it himself? Excellent point, Your Honor. I do think that this movie is a curiosity to a certain degree, but personal taste aside, it is my job to decide whether this movie is funny enough to be considered so bad it's good. And thus my verdict. I find the movie Borderlands is not so bad it's good. Now, Mr. Beeler, I warned you not to waste my time today with this festering ball of dog snot. I will have you know that I am missing my pickleball group's key party for this. My judgment is for everyone involved with this film to share an 8-ball in a small closet with Jack Black for 24 hours. And as for you, Mr. Beeler, I sentence you to watch the movie Borderlands anytime you fall asleep or look at your phone. The movie starts over. The look on your face just proves my point. Good day, sir. Watching this movie again is a pure delight. Although it does drag just a tad. What is the running time on this movie anyways?
Long ago,
Mother...